Hey, it's me, Rebecca, and I wanted to pop in today to give you some home tips of things that you can do to continue to work on speech and language skills with your child in your own home. So I realized that Easter already passed a couple weeks ago, but if your house is like mine, you probably still have quite a few Easter eggs laying around or being shifted from one basket or bag to another. So today we're going to talk about what you could do with these Easter eggs. Now, Easter for me is one of my favorite holidays as a speech therapist because there are so many things that you can do on an Easter egg hunt. So, for example, you can take the eggs that you have already used for Easter and repurpose them, right, for lots and lots of different activities. So, if you have a crafty child, right, you can use the different colored eggs and different colored paint, and you can dip the edges of the eggs. You can either roll them when they're closed in different paint and make different designs on paper on finger paint, or you can open them up to make the circles and dip that part in paint and make a very cool artistic drawing. And when you're doing that, you're of course going to be asking them what color egg they want and what color paint they want to use and where it's going on the paper. So lots of opportunities for language to talk about where and how you're doing things with art projects. And if your child is not yet using words, be sure to not just sit and quietly do the activity with them, but instead narrate or talk about the activity as you're doing it and also offer choices. Do you want to use the yellow egg or the green egg? And they will reach for one that they want and give you the opportunity to then input that word. Oh, you want the green egg? Okay, let's use the green one. Should it be closed or open? Closed or open? And they're going to indicate with their head nod or with their words or with gesturing which one they want. And again, you acknowledge it and narrate for them what it is, the choice that they made. That's going to help them to process that language and to start using those words faster. Now, the more traditional use of the eggs, of course, is to repeat egg hunts. What children don't love to repeat egg hunts over and over again, right? So when you're doing that egg hunt, you have a couple different options. One is that you can leave the eggs empty, right? And I do that for a lot of my kids. I just leave them empty. They still love the hunt. I hide the eggs or I ask them to close their eyes or get busy in something else for a few minutes, and I will hide the eggs for them. And you could do a ton of eggs or you could just do a select few like I have here. Specifically for this week or last week with my kids, I did 3 of each color just for variety, right? So I took these eggs and I hide them around, and then we work on position words. Position words are prepositional phrases, right? So you can do it a couple different ways. Once I've hidden the eggs, if they're on a wild hunt to search for the eggs and they're very young toddlers, I might just verbalize for them. Again, narrate where they found it. Oh, you found the orange egg under the couch. Good job. The orange was under. And I emphasize and repeat the words I want them to learn. Orange and under. Good. And then, oh, you found the green egg behind the lamp. Oh, yes, that one was behind. You're so good at finding these, right? You're engaging the child, you're excited, and they are excited. They're learning language. So you can comment and narrate where they found it. As the child gets older, you can request that child tell you where they found it. Every time they pick up an egg, where was that? And then you help them. You can model the language for them if they need it, or you have them answer you. If they are answering simple words like right there, you would just repeat, oh yeah, under the couch, tell me, where was it? And they're going to use those phrases. So that's a great way to do it. And then if the child is older and you need to target older language, right, you could ask for the whole sentence. I want you, when we're doing the egg hunt today, every time you pick up an egg, I want you to tell me a full sentence. I found the green egg under the TV. Okay, so they're able to put that whole sentence together and tell you where they found it. That's awesome. Near the end of the egg hunt, if the child hasn't found all the eggs that you want them to find, you can then make it a following directions, or the whole time it could be following directions. I want you to look behind the curtain for the yellow egg, okay, and see what they find. You can mix it up. You can make it more complicated by hiding multiple eggs behind the curtain. They still have to language process and listen for which ones you ask them to get. Okay, so super fun, lots of ways. That was all with the eggs empty. You also have the choice to put something inside the eggs that will develop the language. So if you don't have a kid that you can slow down long enough to tell you where they found the eggs, or you're not working on prepositional phrases and the words that talk about where, You could also put things inside the eggs that you're going to talk about later. So the egg hunt could be the fun initial activity where they're searching for all of them, but you can put things inside. So some ideas for putting things inside. I have lots and lots of little figures and little toys. So this came out of a farm set of mine. These are just chickens. I also have the cow and the ducks and the pigs and horses that are this size. And so I could put these inside the egg, and then they find all the eggs, and then we slowly go through and we work on opening them, and we talk about the animals and what sounds they make or where they go. If I've got zoo animals and farm animals, right, we can do categories by separating and sorting them into maybe pieces of paper where I've got a picture of a barn and a picture of a zoo sign, and you can separate and categorize. But this is also super helpful in lots of language. Instead of little figures, if you don't have these, pause. There are also some really awesome erasers nowadays that come apart in different pieces. I'm sure you've all seen them. There are animals where their heads pop off, or fruit and vegetables where the stems remove and go back together. They're sets of erasers. They're just little mini manipulatives, and they're perfect for this type of activity. So you could also target words like fruits and vegetables or things like that, or things around the house, right? Whatever manipulatives you find. So that's great. Other things you can put inside the egg, if you have a low budget or you don't have those, go to the dollar store. You can use a set of stickers, right? So I've got a butterfly here, I've got a flower here, I've got a helmet. The word ones aren't as helpful, but you can find different figures and objects. They don't all have to be in the same group. And then as the child opens them, you get to talk about what's on the sticker, what color it is, how big or small it is. You can talk about lots of things. You can also print pictures, right, off the internet. So you can grab a bunch of different photos or things that the child needs to work on or that you feel like is helpful. This is good, especially under the guidance of a speech language pathologist, because if your child is working on articulation and the way they say sounds, you can pick specific target words that have that sound in it at the level the child is. So if they're using M's at the beginning of words, of course, you're going to want to get all M's at the beginning of words, and you're not going to want to pick a word like municipal or manipulative. But making sure that you're focused on the level the child is on. And then when you open that egg and find that picture, they can practice saying just the sound. They can practice saying the whole word. They can practice the word in phrases or in sentences, depending on the level that they're on. So again, great speech and language activities come from egg hunts. The last thing I want to say is that along with that egg hunt and all the things you can target, it's amazing. You could also hide something like this, right? The major golden egg. And for parents and therapists alike, this could be something different, right? Sometimes kids go crazy over a quarter. Sometimes it has to be $1. Sometimes it can be a prize. So something like this, the little Play-Doh containers, right? Where if they find the golden egg at the end of the whole activity, this is something they get to keep and play with after the activity. And then they can take it home. So you can make a major prize if you want to, but for a lot of kids, again, they don't need it. The egg hunt itself is enough motivator to participate in the activity and to share with you. So if you have any questions, you can find me on Fridays at Communication Powerhouse. On Facebook, I have a Coffee with an SLP hour from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock every Friday morning, where I'm happy to answer your questions or give you ideas how to target your kids' weak areas and give you more ideas like this. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to write a comment below.